Hi, the show is going to start in 30 seconds, I promise. Just here to say, SCTRT is free to everyone, no charge ever. If it were up to me, there'd be no such thing as money. There are much better ways to organize the collective. But until that time, we still need to turn on the lights and run the equipment, So, please contribute whatever amount you can to make this show possible. Just go to the website, charlesbursell.com, and click on the link. Thanks. Hi, I'm Charles Bursell, and this is Stream of Consciousness Talk Radio Theater. I am a white, heterosexual, cisgender, male, Christian boomer. And I'm going to talk about diversity because I'm the expert at diversity. I mean, seriously, how am I supposed to talk about this topic? This is not easy here. I'm a member of every privileged class imaginable, even economic privilege. I've never really had any money to speak of. I don't have any money, but I've never truly been poor. So I guess I'm even in that class. I haven't been a Christian for a long time, but when you're raised in a Christian family, in a Christian town, in a largely Christian nation, you kind of carry that with you. So I include that as well. So how are we going to approach this today? I want to talk about diversity. I want to talk about all the isms and obias that we need to fight, that we encounter every day. Racism, sexism, homophobia, Islamophobia, all of it. But how do I, as a white, hetero, cis, male, Christian boomer, do this? Well, the one thing I can do, I can talk to my people, per se. By the way, I'm going to say 100 things wrong in this half hour. So please just call me out. Get on the phone. I always welcome callers anyway, but get on the phone. Call me out when I say something stupid. When I say something racist or sexist. I probably already have. I'm sure I'm going to before the half hour's out at least a dozen times. So I can talk to my people. I can talk to my fellow white, hetero, cis, male Christian boomers. And we can't be afraid. We can't, as I'm hesitating right now, we can't be afraid to talk about these issues. We're part of this world. We share this world. We share responsibility with getting it done. So I'm going to recommend that when you do talk about these things, share your own experience. Don't pretend you know other people's experience. Not that you can't learn it. I mean, you can read, you can study. That's cool. But don't, think that entitles you then to, speak for other people. A quick side note, when I was in college, I studied philosophy, and I took this to heart. I as my electives, in fact, I was surprised they weren't part of the core curriculum. I thought these should have been required. But as electives, I took Native American studies and Black studies and women's studies, Eastern philosophy, what else? Comparative religions, which really made me an atheist. That really put me over the top. When you study comparative religion, you're going to come out an atheist 9 times out of 10. So yeah, you can learn. But mostly what I want to request from my fellows, from my people, if you want to be part of this whole conversation, if you want to be in the process, in the fight for justice, you got to listen and you got to follow. We're used to taking the lead. Those of us in every privileged class, we're used to taking the lead. But here's where you don't. You listen, you follow, you support. And for all the listeners who fall into the other categories, that aren't the ones I mentioned, I will share my experience without trying to tell you how the world ought to work. Now, this is a difficult show. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I know how difficult this is. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm going to give it a try. First caller, hi, you're on the air.
Hi, Charles.
Yes, hello.
Hi. I'm one of the voices in your head.
Oh, okay.
I'm a white, cis, Christian-raised, female boomer.
Okay, so we share everything except the male-female.
Yes,
All
I'm your, as you would put it, your anima.
You're my enema?
Anima, not enema. You're not that old. Okay, so anyways, Chucky?
Yeah.
You have no right to continue the rest of this show.
No, you're kidding.
Yes.
I can't even do it?
Because you're just going of yourself, and it's going to be embarrassing, and then everyone's going to call you racist.
Well, I'm willing to take that risk. What do you suggest I do otherwise? Should I just shut myself off?
I would suggest you to cross your legs.
Yeah.
Hold still, and lock the door.
All right.
Lock the door before you hold still.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll let other people
Yes.
deal with this.
Yes.
Well, I'm very happy to have a female voice in my head. I have that.
Yes, you do.
So maybe you should host the show today.
I could, but I think it'd be much more appropriate to get the trans, black, Native American voice in your head to do the rest of the show as the host.
By the way, why did you use the phone to call me? You're right there in my head. You could have spoken to me directly.
Because this is very inflammatory stuff.
I see. You didn't want to be seen with me.
I'm embarrassed. Okay, goodbye.
You're embarrassed to be seen.
Okay, y'all, and welcome to the first meeting of the Trans Black Native American Book Club. Gather round. Sitting Bull over there, can you read the meetings from the last notes, please?
Yes, we arrived, we took down our names, and we began discussing the book after you passed out some coffee.
Now, can you please remind everybody sitting around this fire... Oh, take that pipe from you. Thank you. Quick smoke. All right. Could you please remind everybody what book we've been reading?
It's Das Kapital in the original German.
Das Kapital, that's right. Okay, do we have any thoughts on chapter 4?
It's a little dry.
Yeah, a little thick.
A little thick or a little sick?
Well, putting accents aside, I know you like to call people out when they speak in their native dialect, which I find offensive. I believe she meant thick.
Like Alan?
Excuse
Not
me,
that
did
thick.
you just say she?
I'm sorry, I did, yes.
Oh,
I meant to say...
shoot.
I
Oh,
meant
shoot.
to say,
This is why I don't do stuff.
Now, here, pass her the peace pipe. I want you two to meet in the middle, shake hands, and smoke one together.
I happen to have one with 2 stems.
I believe the appropriate thing would be to ask what your preferred gender pronouns are.
Oh, I'm sorry, we totally
Jane's
skipped that.
Here.
We forgot
Oh,
that.
Jane's here. Okay, everybody. Jane knows how people like to be treated because Jane grew up in suburbia. Jane is Caucasian, and Jane comes from a good family. Tell us how to act, Jane.
I don't mean to say that. I just say that perhaps Alex would like to tell us what your preferred gender pronouns.
What? I prefer lizard, lizardzerst, and lizardists.
There we go.
Okay, Alex is straight up messed up right now, so I don't know what any of that means. But Jane, this is your first meeting. You don't walk in here telling us how to act or how to ask questions, okay?
All right, I'll be in the corner reading Das Kapital.
Okay, thank you, Jane. Okay, Sitting Bull, let's take these meeting notes down, and we will see you guys next
Jane
week.
is in the corner, and thank you.
I told you this was going to be tough today. It's not going to be easy. I'm taking on this challenge. Let's see how it goes. Got another caller. Hi, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hello, yes, how are you?
Sorry, I didn't expect you to answer so soon. Really was expecting more of a dial tone on that one. Okay. Question for you, Charles.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I was just at the DMV the other day. That is the, tell you the truth, I don't know what it stands for, but that's where they
That
told
would be
me
the
to go.
Department of Motor Vehicles.
Okay, so there was a question they had to ask me what ethnicity I am.
Right,
So
yeah.
I'm just
Check
wondering,
the box.
when you check the box, scribble in the circle, circle a sphere, square a dot. I don't know what these
And you
kids
weren't
are
sure
doing.
how to identify yourself?
Wasn't sure how to identify, so I just crumpled up the paper and tossed it back at the nice Mexican lady.
Well, you could identify her all right. How did you know she was Mexican?
Well, you know, I'm not good at looking into mirrors. I'm better at looking straight through the windows
Isn't
at
that
other
the
people, you
truth?
know what I mean?
Isn't that the truth
So
for most
just
of
wanted
us?
to get your opinion. Do you ever circle a dot or fill in a bubble, or do you just say I prefer not to answer?
Circle a dot, fill in a bubble. But first, that went by so quickly. I want to repeat what you said because it's a theme for the show. I'm better at looking at other people through windows than looking at myself in the mirror.
Yeah.
I didn't want to let that go without giving it its proper.
Well, shoot. I was really hoping you were going to breeze over that one.
That was pretty good.
Okay.
I think we can just shut down the show. You've just put the nail right in it.
Well,
Yeah.
they don't call me Jimmy Nail in the Coffin. Well, cow for
Yeah,
nothing.
okay. So you're talking about filling in bubbles or checking squares, and your question is again?
Well, my question is again, do you ever
Yeah.
answer them or do you prefer not to answer? You know, that tends to be the last little dot there.
I don't know. I don't know if this is controversial or not, but I understand the reasons they ask. I think it's actually important that demographers and people in government know who they're representing. So, yeah, I fill it out. I'm white, non-Hispanic, of European descent, whatever they got that describes me. Yeah, I fill it out.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. Maybe sometime we could grab some coffee and you could look through a window at me and tell me what to fill out. Okay.
I'd love to. Thanks.
All right, I'm going to finish up in the bathroom here and we'll chat later.
You didn't. All right. Yeah.
Mom!
What is it, honey? What? I
Mom!
was reading the newspaper. What?
This is really exciting.
Well, this is Mother's quiet
My-
time, okay?
But my blood print just came back. And it says that my matrilineal line and my patrilineal line both descend
From Cincinnati. I know. I was waiting to tell you, but yes.
Further back, Caucasia.
Well, yeah. I mean, Cincinnati, that's not a far leap, sweetheart. Yes, you're right. Okay, great.
Can you tell me the story again about how we came from Caucasia to Cincinnati?
Oh, it's a fuzzy story. I don't know.
Caucasia, the land of the blank. Caucasia, the land of the empty portrait. Hello, my friends of Caucasia. It is come time that we rid these lands and we move to the distant future of Natai. Caucasia representative Ubuntu, please come up to the podium and give us your thoughts on the pending doom.
Our crops aren't growing anymore. And I hear there's good soil somewhere else. So let's just go, maybe.
What another intoxicating public speech from our representative. Secretarial Unsaiga.
Hey!
Thank you. See, now thank you. That is the attention I am looking for.
I feel like that's a jab at me.
Cincinnati will heal our land. It will heal our souls and bring big kahune into the coffers. Thank you, and welcome aboard.
He's just making up words, though.
Yes, but he have nice big graph to prove his point. Something last speech failed to bring to the table. Okay, everybody, on these boats. Action point number 1, when we get on boat, start going to town on each other. We need to populate Cincinnati as quickly as possible.
Caucasia Pride!
Caucasia Pride! Caucasia Pride!
That's how I assume that it happened, sweetheart. I don't really know for sure. I just was speculating.
Can we do some needlepoint Caucasia Pride patches now that we know our history?
Pride is a really weird word for that. 'Cause we're like, okay.
Stream of Consciousness Talk Radio Theater. Charles Bursell here. White, hetero, cis, male, Christian boomer, talking about diversity. How does someone like me engage in the conversation? How do I be an ally? How do I fight for justice without just being a big old douche? How do I do it? I want to take just a moment and share a story with you guys. When I was a kid, white, small town, Wisconsin, if you're a kid, you like sports. And I liked basketball. And my first sports hero was a guy named Lou Alcindor, who was a big college star, played for UCLA. He was drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks, my hometown team, right up the road. with the team. I think in his second year they win a championship. I'm 13 years old. That's a good age to be when your team wins a championship. You're excited. It stays with you for the rest of your life. And so Lou Alcindor is my hero, right? My first sports hero. The very next day, after they won the championship, they beat the Washington Bullets in 4 games straight. The very next day, I read in the Janesville Gazette, which I delivered every day as a paperboy, that Lou Alcindor is changing his name to Kareem Abdul, and I'm looking at it, Jabbar? No, of course, Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And I guess I was a little too young to get the whole Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali thing. I didn't really catch that. So this is the first time I'm hearing about how African Americans, many of them, have slave names. Alcindor was the name of the family who owned his people, so he's ridding himself of his slave name and taking a Muslim name, which he had converted to Islam in college. So he's my hero. And I'm learning about this, and I think this is just the coolest thing in the whole world, all brand new for me. He did another thing while he was in Milwaukee. There was no good jazz in Milwaukee at the time. This is 1971 or 2, something like that. There's no jazz on the radio, so he took it upon himself to go to one of the radio stations and say, listen, I'll do a couple-hour show once a week, and I'll play jazz. So I'm a kid. Abdul-Jabbar is my hero. So I listen. And there's this guy who I never would come across in my own life, this young, really intelligent black man teaching me about Thelonious Monk and Coltrane and Charlie Parker. And this is like life-changing stuff for me. I'm not exactly sure the point of this story, except that as a member of the oppressive class, I will always be grateful to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who of course has gone on to become this great sort of public intellectual, and he's a very respected guy. So I just wanted to share that story. And I guess what it means is it reinforces my advice to, as I'm calling them, my people. Listen, learn, follow. Caller, hi.
Hi, Charles. This is Elaine.
Elaine, hello.
Hi. I just have to tell you that I could not agree with you more. You see, last Thursday, my car started to have a bit of this thing where it went... and smoke was coming out of it. And
Did you think you were calling the car guys?
no!
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead with your story. I apologize.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine, Charles.
All right, okay.
You know what I did? I pulled over. I looked up how to take the bus on my phone, and then I went on a bus. You know, I just think it's a beautiful thing because in this moment I sat down next to a woman my age, but she was African American.
All right, okay.
And you know what? I just took advantage of the situation, because how often does this happen? I took a moment and I said, hello, my name is Elaine.
Uh-huh.
I am having car troubles. What's your name? Why are you on the bus? And could you tell me a little bit about what is it like to be African American?
How did that go?
It was remarkable,
Good.
Charles.
All right, see, this is an example to us all. It's really okay. Sometimes, as I said, you're going to sound ridiculous sometimes, and you never know what response you're going to get, but you got a good response, Elaine. What was the response?
Oh, she told me all about how she's a woman like anyone else.
Okay.
She has a job and a grandson,
And this is something that you felt you benefited from.
I thought it was really illuminating.
See, now I can hear a lot of people might criticize Elaine for, I don't know, assuming that this person next to her had some other different exotic life or something. You had asked her to speak on behalf of all African Americans. And now that kind of criticism would keep Elaine from having that conversation. But for whatever reason, Elaine had an open enough heart, or she was naive enough, or, whatever the reason, she went ahead and spoke up. And I'm not going to criticize it at all. I think that's fantastic. Whatever the reason is, good for you, Elaine. Thanks for calling. Another caller. Hi.
Yo, hello. This is the woman from that bus.
Oh, hi.
I just wanted to call and say what a dumbass that woman was.
I
I'm
think it's
sorry
sweet.
to bring negativity to this situation, but I've been sitting on that bus for how many years, Charles? You take a guess. Take a stupid little Caucasian guess at it.
I have no way of knowing. I don't know. 5 years.
5 years. Add 20 to that.
25 years.
Now add
Okay.
5 years to that.
30 years.
Take 7 back.
23.
Add 4.
27.
That's how many damn years I've been
27
taking
years.
that bus.
Okay.
And one day, some stupid ass lady's car breaks down. She sits down next to me like Jiminy Cricket on my stupid ass Pinocchio shoulder.
Uh-huh.
And you know what she asked me?
She asked you what it was like to be an African-American woman.
That is right, Charles Bursell. Now, I looked at her straight up dead in the eyeballs, and as if I'm looking at the soul of the devil himself. And it took Charles Bursell, put your ears next up to the microphone, because I got a secret to tell you.
That's not how it works.
It took, well, I don't know much about technology.
Go ahead.
I don't know much of biology, but I do know that I love you. And that's just a little joke that I think you
got it.
appreciate. Simon and Garfunkel. Let's get back to the point, Charles. Now it took all of the strength in the world for me to not slap that stupid little lady in her stupid little frilly hat straight up in the stupid ass face.
Yeah.
I do apologize for all the stupid asses that I've been saying.
But you heard her call. She took that as a very positive experience. Whatever you did really nice. You know, you were nice to her.
It's a positive experience for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm a little child, let's say, here's an example from my own life. I have been doing jigsaw puzzles for how many years, Charles?
27?
You nailed it. I figured you would learn, Charles. You a good man. And if my little grandson comes over, he's playing ball, and he knocks the ball to the table, knocks my puzzle over, that's a good experience for him because he's having fun, but now my puzzle's all up on the ground.
Okay, so people have unique experience. I get it. I understand. I hear where you're coming from.
Look, I'm sorry to call and vent about that, but I heard that little lady call, so I had to give the Venn diagram of my experience.
All right, it's important to know. I'm encouraging people like myself who inhabit all of the oppressive classes, all the oppressive categories in our bones. I'm encouraging us to participate somehow in the conversation, in the fight for justice, but to do it in a way that is actually productive for everybody concerned. I'm going to give you one other just little piece of advice, if I can, and that is, if you can, I know it's not easy, travel to other places. Get out of your bubble. I was very lucky. I lived in San Jose, California as a young man, where I was the only white guy in a black neighborhood, and it was very eye-opening for me coming from a little white town. I lived for a couple of years in New York, where it was primarily Hispanic, mostly Puerto Rican neighborhood. Everybody was speaking Spanish in the bodegas. And then I lived in San Francisco for many years, where I did theater, and 9 times out of 10, I was the only hetero within eyesight. And I got to tell you, it makes a difference. Now, I know it's not easy to travel. I know it costs money. I was able to do this through work. Speaking of work, then I got on a cruise ship, and I went to Asia and Malaysia and Indonesia and the South Sea Islands, and it's real easy to not follow the tourists. You just take a left instead of a right, and all of a sudden you're in the real world with real people. So my advice, if you can, I know it's not easy, travel. Get out of your bubble. Know people who aren't like you. This is my call. I'm making this plea to my people to be part of this.
I love your warm-up.
Oh, thank you. I love the way that your body moves and communicates.
Oh, yeah, it's this silk Hawaiian shirt that I just got from that hut down the beach.
Oh, that hut is my favorite hut.
I love Waikiki.
Oh, wait, look at DeAndre. Look who's coming down the hallway. It's the straight person.
Oh, well, don't make fun of her this time. I mean, she's got it hard. Oh, hey, how's it going?
Hey, good afternoon. Hi.
Oh my God, hey, I love the way that you act and stuff.
Psst, tone it down.
Sorry.
Thank you. I was just at the beach, coming in to make some lunch. Probably some tuna fish or ham and cheese, whatever's in the fridge. I don't know.
Really?
Is
You
it
eat tuna too?
Yeah, out of a can. I don't like fish for it.
is she eating it straight out of the can? Straight out of the can.
No, I mean I usually add like mayo or like.
She thought it was a real question. Oh my god.
Pickles, celery. I try to dress it up a little.
Pickles.
Dress it up a little.
Oh my gosh, she's so great.
Yeah. What do you guys have for lunch?
We also eat tuna.
Oh, yeah.
But it's gay tuna.
I need to say one quick thing here. The time's running out. Again, a plea to my people. The whole I don't see race thing, can you just drop that just forever and never do that again? You don't know how wrong you are when you say that. You don't know how ridiculous you sound. We're all human beings. I don't see race. I'm the least racist person you'll ever meet. If you just pretend that that's the case, then you're just wrong. You don't know. We all have implicit bias. Research after research after research tells us. Remember the doll test that they used as part of the case in Brown v. Board, right? Thurgood Marshall was the litigator there, where the little white boys and little white girls and little black boys and little black girls had the same response to black dolls. The black doll is not as pretty as the white doll, that whole thing. They just redid that test a couple of years ago, and they got the same results. So just get over that I don't see race thing. It's there. If I'm a man and that's a woman over there, or a trans, or whatever the person is, they have an identity. If you ignore that identity, you're just basically creating an empty shell, and then you fill that empty shell with your own expectations, and then they don't meet your expectations, and you're disappointed, and you're confused, and you're fearful, and just get off of the I don't see race thing. Get off of it. All right, just coming to the end. Looks like we have a caller. Is that right? Yeah, hi.
Yeah, Charles Bursell. I just wanted to call and tell you that I don't give a rat's ass about race or not race, and here's why.
Okay.
Because I'm the most racist son of a bitch you're ever going to meet.
Oh, there he goes.
And you know why I'm the most racist son of a bitch you're ever going to meet? Because America is full of bloody wimps. You're all a bunch of panty wastes. I could take all of you down right now. You're all the same to me. You're pasta. You're mashed potatoes. You're nothing like me and the Spartans.
I hate to end the show on that. Let me see if we have any other. Another caller. Can you send us out on a happier note than that?
Yeah, listen, I'm George's husband. I think George just called in.
Oh.
Nope, George, it's fine. Take your medications. Look, I just want to apologize for him. He's been off his meds a little bit lately, and, but to, I don't know, leave us on a happy note. I really, really like your show, and your hair is inspiring to me when I watch you walk down the sidewalk, and I see you. I see you as a person. I see you as a Caucasian, heterosexual, cisgender.
Yeah, that's me all over.
And that hair, that cisgender hair.
Yeah, we have the best hair.
George, no. George, ow. Okay, I love you, Charles.
All right, thanks for the call. Thanks for sending us out happily.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love you.
All right, yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
Oh my God, he said it, George.
It's Stream of Consciousness Talk Radio Theater. The SCTRT players, Krista Jarzinski, Anja not Anja Seeger, the Scrouse, and Jonathan Wachala. Music by Peter Donalds. If you want to listen to the show again or recommend it to friends, we're on most of your favorite apps and platforms, including Apple Podcasts. What you want to do is search for Charles Bursell Presents, and we'll pop right up. Or even easier, just go to our website. There you're going to find links to everything, and you can listen right there to every show since the beginning of time. That's charlesbursell.com. Of course, you can follow on Facebook and Twitter and all of that. So, see ya. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please consider becoming a listener member. You get nothing for it, no bonus material, no tote bag, no coffee mug, just the satisfaction of helping to keep a good thing going, especially for those listeners who maybe can't afford to contribute. Underwriters are also welcome. That is, if you're cool, you don't pollute or screw anybody. Go to the website, charlesbursell.com, and click on the appropriate link. Thanks.